Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. How are you? Yes, today is the official birthday. I know I've been talking about my birthday for a while. And today is my actual birthday. And my mom always reminds me that I was born in the afternoon in the middle of one of her favorite soap operas. So that's how I remember what time of day I was actually born. Do you know what time of day you were born? I don't know the exact moment. I just know it was like, I don't know, 3 in the afternoon or something. For some reason, this is not holding today. So welcome, you know the drill. Grab your favorite beverage. Yes, this is another one I found in my daughter's cabinet. This one says Los Angeles. Isn't this one nice? But I did that no thing and heated it in the microwave, and the ceramic is wicked hot. Not too bad. Okay. So welcome. Thank you for joining me on my birthday. I am so glad. Whether you catch this on the replay or you catch me live while I'm here, I really greatly appreciate. My love language is time. And for you to take time out of your precious day that you will never get back, to spend it with me, to listen to me chat, to, spend time on my birthday, I just want to say thank you. I really, really appreciate you. I am grateful for you. And that means a ton to me. And it's funny. Lately, everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. The next question I get is either A, something about the number of the birthday, or B, about retirement. So I wanted to talk about both of those today. The first one is the age. It's interesting. When I have a 30-year-old daughter, a 31-year-old daughter, and one that will be 30 this year. And I don't even feel 30. So age truly is just a number. It is a mental thing. Whether you think, 40 is too young, or maybe 40 is too old. Maybe 60 is still young, or 60 is too old, or it's not two of anything. It's just right. It's just right. And so I am grateful for every year. I think every year, every day is a celebration, as I've said before. A time to be cherished. And I don't know what it's supposed to feel like, but I will tell you that what I anticipated it feeling like, I don't feel that way. There are certain things that I'm still working through, thank you, menopause, but as far as an age goes, like, did I feel like I was going to feel feeble? I see people in their 80s and 90s, and they're not feeble. They're still out on a pickleball court, for Christ's sakes. And so they're still traveling. They're still driving. So age is just a number. Age is just a number. It's the story we attach to it. It's the meaning we give it, Same with clothes. The number you put on your, that you buy in your clothing, whether you buy a 12 or you buy a 2, it's just a number. It is just a number. But it is the meaning that we give to that number that makes us feel good or bad. For some people, a 12 is amazing because maybe they're a size 18. So 12 would be, oh my gosh, I wish I was a 12. For the person who's a 12, a 2 would be like mind-blowing. Can't even think of that ever being that size. For somebody who's normally a 00, 2 is too big. So it's all relative. It's all relative. And so keeping that in mind, mindset is the key. I'm always going to come back to that, right? I'm always going to come back to my mindset is definitely the key. Whether I think I'm too old or too young or too big or too little or too this or too that, I'm working diligently on revising, being aware and revising my stories. And so today I'm going to tell you that I'm the perfect age, although I don't know that there is a perfect age. Each age has its benefits, right? Each age has its benefits. The other thing that people typically talk to me about when I tell them that I'm turning 60 is retirement. And I will tell you, I don't know if you know this about me, but I attempted to retire twice. Not once, twice. The key word is attempted. And failed miserably and ended up going back to work in some capacity. And it is something that I am working through at the moment because, as you also may or may not know, my wonderful husband retires in a little over 3 years. And his request is that by then I am able to retire and not lose my mind, not lose my shit, not be incredibly depressed, to be able to embrace it and enjoy it and make the most of it. Because as history has shown, I have not been so good with that. And when I was talking to my therapist, she pointed out something really interesting. So I wanted to share it here with you. She said, it's not what you're retiring from. Everybody has something they're retiring from. It's what you're retiring to. I'm going to say that again. It's not what you're retiring from. It's what you're retiring to. And my problem that I need to solve is that I don't have something to retire to. Now, I've asked a lot of people in retirement. Every time I meet somebody that's retired, I ask them, what is your typical day? What do you love best about it? Do you miss working? And I will tell you that none of them miss working. I will tell you when I retired, I missed working. I missed the social interaction. I missed that I had a reason to get up in the morning. I missed the passion of what I was doing. And these people that I meet that are retired don't feel that way. So I am on a quest. To figure the F out what I'm going to do, what I am going to retire to. What am I going to retire to? And figuring it out. Oh, someone gave me a thumbs up. Yes, figuring out what am I retiring to. Now, you may or may not know this. A lot of things I'm informing you of. John and I are looking to purchase a second home down in Florida in a retirement community, a 55 and older. The thought is by doing this, there will be activities and events and people the same age and phase of life that, hey, Patty. Oh, thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you. You are so close and yet so far. But thank you for the birthday wishes and thanks for spending time with me. And now I squirreled, I forgot. Oh, retirement. So we're looking at buying a house because the hope is that having activities, having people to do them with, having events will give me something to wake up to, something to look forward to, something to get dressed and out of bed in the morning. And I will let you know. We're baby steps. You know I'm all about the baby steps, baby steps. And so this isn't a full-time gig for me. This is a second home. This is a, what's it called? A snowbird thing, right? Where we go down for a couple of months. where I can test out the waters, disconnect from work for a couple of months and see how I do and get better at it and practice, kind of like a bicycle. Remember when we used to ride, when we were learning how to ride a bicycle and we had those training wheels and we took them off and then we fell? At least I did. I fell many a time before I could get up and ride. So I've fallen twice on the retirement gig, and then this time I'm gonna take off sailing. Because I'm going to, do some things to set me up so that I have something to retire to. I don't know what that is yet. If you're retired, give me some suggestions on what should I retire to. I think because a large part of my life was taken up either by work, regardless of what the work was, right? I was in the mortgage business. I had a product for the women's restrooms called Pond Packs. I'm now a public speaker and do a transformative, life-changing event for women. Whatever I do for work, I also had raising of children, right? And my children are now raised. They're amazing humans that I totally and completely enjoy spending my time around, but don't require as much everyday time and attention and thought and effort as it was when they were growing up. And when I got my dog, he took a lot of time, energy, and effort. And today he turns 9. He was born on my birthday 9 years ago. And so he no longer takes that. And so right now, my time and attention is focused and directed towards this event and towards speaking and helping people get unstuck and maneuver life transitions a little bit easier. And so what am I going to do next? What's my next chapter? Oh, Linda. I don't miss working. I'm at camp every day. Linda lives in one of those retirement communities that I'm looking at, buying a house. Oh, thank you, Linda, for the birthday wishes. Mwah. I miss you. Patty, you are absolutely right about setting yourself up with things to make you happy once you retire. Once you do that, you will love retirement. Yes, exactly. I have not done the work. I have not put forth the effort. I have not used my time and attention to focus on creating what I want my retirement to look like. I've focused my time and attention on a lot of other things. And some people say that, oh, are you in denial? No, I'm not in denial. I am fully aware that there is going to be a day that I am not going to be focusing on work. But I found that a lot of my friends that are my age are grappling with the same thoughts. How am I going to fill my day? What is my purpose going to be? Because we've tied a lot of our purpose and self-worth, our identity, to what we do, what we bring to this world, how we impact the world. And when we retire, there have been, past history, talks about how people would retire and they'd put them out to pasture, like they weren't good for anything anymore. And rewriting those stories and creating new ones and saying, no, that's not my reality. I'm going to continue learning and growing. But I don't know in what capacity yet. Let's see. Happy birthday, Duncan. Oh, thank you. I will give him those birthday wishes. Oh, Cheryl. Hey, Chiquita. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thanks for spending some time with me. And so I am on a quest. It's interesting. one of the angst that I had about looking for a place in Florida was because I have a daughter that lives in Delaware. And I will tell you that I took 3 months and didn't see my daughter in Delaware. And we both agreed it's too long. It's just too stinking long. I normally see my daughter about every month. And going 3 months without seeing her was just too long. Now, this year when I rented the rental that I rented, there was a unit underneath us, and there was a couple who were 70 and having the time of their lives. So I asked them, what does retirement look like? How much do you travel? What do you do? And it's very interesting because they have a child in Denver who has a baby. Excuse me. So they have a grandbaby in Denver. Now they live in Massachusetts, and they have like a little cottage in Maine that they visit and spend time at in the summer. Kind of like a 55 and older community. Everyone gets together, they do poker, they do pickleball, they do excursions, they do things like that. So in the summertime, they visit that community. And throughout the year, she said every 8 weeks, they go out and they spend a week with their son, every 8 weeks. And recently, they went and spent much longer. They spent like 3 weeks, but they didn't spend the entire 3 weeks. They went out, they spent a couple of days, then they went to Palm Springs and went to California for like a long weekend. And then they came back and spent some time with their grandson and their son. And then they're down in Florida for a week or so. And then they'll go back and spend some time with them. And that made me re-examine that even when we buy a place in Florida, that doesn't mean that I am anchored to it. Like I need to reframe that. And there's so many things that we don't know. And for me, that wasn't even a thought, an idea, a version of my reality that I pictured, that I imagined. It just was not even something that I could conjure up. But the more people that share what they do, the better and easier it is for me to create the life that I want to live in retirement. So please share what you do. Share what retirement looks like to you. And it looks different for everyone. And what's right for you might not be right for me. Maybe just a certain aspect is right for me. Seeing my grandkids, seeing my kids is going to be paramount for me. And right now I've got one in Delaware and I got one in LA. And so what does that look like for me? Does that look like a summer place near Delaware? Does that mean that I, come visit every 6 weeks or whatever, my daughter in LA? I don't know yet. And what I conjure up may or may not work. But I'm going to start investigating and exploring and go on a research journey with as many people as I can that are in that phase of life on what they're doing. I know I want to travel. That is a for sure thing. That is an absolute must do. What does that look like? I have no idea. Is that girl trips or trips with John? I have no idea. Where am I going? I have no idea. How long am I going for? I have no idea. I just know that I want to travel. I really want to travel. I want to travel not only in the country, but outside the country. And I want that it's not so much going to see churches, but I want to really experience cultures and experience things that I've not experienced before. There's a lot of things that I've not done and a lot of things that I don't even know are out there to do. I'll give you a great example. Great example. So we were talking about what to do tomorrow because my girls need to work today. So tomorrow we're celebrating my actual birthday. I mean, well, they're singing me happy birthday and they're doing stuff today. But tomorrow we're going to go and do things, right? Today is more of a relaxing. I am getting together with my friend Dilly. She's going to come and have lunch with me. But it's like a relaxing, sit out in the sun, read a book, kick back kind of a day. And then tomorrow we're going to go and do stuff. And my daughter Reagan came up with a whole list of things that we're just going to pick a couple of fun things to do. So yesterday we went for brunch. And was it brunch? No, we went for a smoothie at Erewhon. Erewhon? Erewhon. I think it's Erewhon. It's a highfalutin grocery store that it's very health conscious. And they make smoothies. And they put famous people's names like, I always say Halle Berry, but it's not Halle Berry. It's Bieber's wife. What is her name? Halle Bieber? No, it's not Halle. Anyway, they have a smoothie named after her. If you know, I love a guy named Gary Brecka. If you don't know Gary, he's an amazing biology researcher on longevity and how our body functions and what we can do naturally to prolong longevity, right? Live the best life we can for as long as we can. And they actually had a Gary Brecka smoothie. And it had hydrogen water in it because he's really big on hydrogen water and cacao and some other things. And so we went and got that in the afternoon. And on the way back from that, we saw this blown up, like, inflatable space dude it wasn't an actual person. It was an inflatable like you see at Christmas time, but it was like an astronaut in a spacesuit. I was like, what the heck is that? As we're driving by, and there's a banner, and on the banner it has blah, 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 like the URL. So I grab my phone and I quickly look, and they have a virtual escape room type thing. And I've done escape rooms, and those are okay. I mean, you've done one, you've done two, they're okay. And we were talking about maybe doing an escape room, and that would be okay. That would really be nice. We could, all get together to see if we could figure out the puzzles in order to get out of the room. But to do a virtual reality one, how cool is that? So we're definitely going to do that. Definitely going to do that. I am, as you can tell, I am super excited. Why? Because I've never done it. Will it be amazing? Maybe. It might be the biggest flop ever. It might be stupid. It might be frustrating and not really work the way that it should, but it'll be something that I've never done. Never done. And so, Linda, didn't you and I do a virtual reality in a mall years and years ago? I did like a thing in a mall that was just kind of meh because it was just coming out. But this looks like totally immersive, and you need to do it in a group. You can't really do it by yourself. So me and the two girls, we're going to do this, and I will report back. Remind me to report back to you how it was. But we are going to do that, and it's something different, something that I've never done before. Now, I've done escape rooms, and as you can tell, I've done quasi-virtual reality, but marrying them together and doing them with my girls is something that I couldn't even have imagined, didn't even know existed. And it just so happens that it was something that we drove by, that caught my eye, that I was able to, take advantage of. Let's see, Linda, plus it gives them a place to visit too. Yes, it does. It gives my girls a place to visit. Give Dilly a hug for me. I will definitely do that. Dilly is a super amazing, special warm, loving individual, and I'm really, really grateful to be able to spend some time with her on my birthday. Yeah, so it was with you. And yeah, it wasn't the best. It was kind of meh. But how long ago was that, Linda? How long? That was a long time ago. 6 years? Was it more than that? It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we did that. And so, yes, when I retire, there are things out there that I don't even know are out there that might come across my my path, my opportunities, my sight, my hearing, get exposed to, like I did when I was driving back from getting those smoothies yesterday. I never would have known that that was an option. There are things out there that I don't even know. And if you know that there are things out there that are really cool that you've experienced, let me know. Please let me know. Because I am on a quest to experience the most out of life in different cultures, in different parts of the world. And so I know that in retirement, although I might not know where, and I don't know when, and I don't know what, I do know that it's going to be new experiences that I haven't done before in places I haven't seen. So maybe that's with one of you or a group of you. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe that's a yearly trip that we plan and go. On the way out here, there was a guy that I got introduced to as works with John. And he was actually on the same flight. And he was coming out here to meet a group of 12 guys that he has known since he was like in second grade. And they have been getting together every year. Every year they get together and they have an extended weekend. And, they have activities planned. They rent this beautiful mansion. They hire a chef. They do it right. And they have the most incredible time exploring wherever they are for that year. We could do that. We could do that. Now, I will be honest, I don't even know anybody that I went to school with when I was in second grade or fourth grade or even seventh grade. Yeah, or even seventh grade. I don't have that history. I don't have that longevity that a lot of people are blessed with. And if you are one of them, count yourself lucky that you have had lifelong friends. I have not had that opportunity because I moved a lot growing up. And back then, it wasn't as easy as it is now to stay in contact with each other. And so we didn't. And it wasn't until maybe college, maybe high school. And because I moved, now it would have been different if I had grown up with a group of people, and then we went off to college and we came back during the holidays and we reunited, kind of like my girls have, which I made certain that they had because I didn't. And am I sorry that I don't know? Because moving around a lot made me who I am today. And so I am grateful for that. But am I sad that I don't have longevity of friendships? Yeah, I am. But I'm just going to appreciate the friendships that I did make later in life and look to have them for the long term, right? Look to have them for the long term. Linda, at least because I'm in Florida 5 years and we did it in Arizona. Yeah, it was a long time ago. And you have a BFF since kindergarten. Yeah, see, and I don't have that. But that's okay. That's okay. If you do, you are very lucky. Count yourself lucky. But that doesn't mean that I can't create or be part of a group of women that get together now moving forward. that I can't create that or be part of that or be invited to a group that meets regularly every year in different places. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? How often do you see your friend that you've known since kindergarten, Linda? How often? You know, in this day and age, we are so lucky that staying in touch has been made so much easier and so much more affordable and so much more accessible. So yeah, please do share. Number one, are you struggling with the thought of what retirement is going to be like because you have not yet created what you are retiring to? You know what you're retiring from, but that big old question mark, that big old unknown makes you feel incredibly uncomfortable on what you are retiring to. As I'm figuring it out, I want to help you figure it out. It's a conversation that will continue for sure. The other thing I want to know is if you have retired and you are happily retired and not miserable, what makes it so amazing? What makes it so amazing? Let me know in a comment below. How do you stay, if you have kids all over the country or all over the world, how do you plan? How often do you see them? How do you stay in touch? Because I will tell you, that's a priority for me. That is a non-negotiable priority for me. And it is a little tricky because I have Duncan and I don't want to leave him for long periods of time. I miss him. I miss him greatly. And as Leo so poignantly pointed out, do you not miss John? I do miss John. I do miss John. The difference is the relationship that John and I have, we have had since the very beginning. We've been together since, how long have we been together, John? We got married in 91, so I think I met him in 1990. So we've been together a good long time. And our schedules have always been where we're not together all the time. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's challenging to be together 24/7 because our entire lives together, we have not been. So this is the norm for me. Whereas with Duncan, the norm is for me to be with him 24/7, for him literally to be laying right here by my side. And for me to glance down and not have him there makes me a little sad. Now, with John, I know that this might be one of the few days that we're not together, but we're going to get together and we're going to celebrate my birthday when we do get back together. And I am looking forward to that. Let's see, what else? Oh, Linda, you know what? Yes, I do have you for the long time. Oh, look at that. I've never seen this app do that. Let's see, can we make it do again? Did you see? Oh, I did it again. I'm sending you love, my friend. Oh, I'm glad that I have you for the good long time. That is so cool. Something that I didn't know. Cheryl, I am completely happy retired, blessed to have been able to retire at an early age than most. Yes, you have adjusted really well. I did not. I love spending a lot of time at home and with my fur babies and in my happy place. Yes. I also think, and those of you who are introverts versus extroverts, please weigh in on this. Do you feel that retirement is easier for introverts versus extroverts? There's a question to ponder. Do you feel that retirement is easier for introverts than extroverts? Because extroverts get their energy from being around people. And a comment like that, Cheryl, shows me that you're more of an, and there's no good or bad. It's just where we get our energy, right? It's not like, oh, extroverts are amazing and introverts are quiet and demure. No. It's just, where do you get your energy? You get your energy from, if you are an introvert, from being more alone, from alone time, self-care time. I will tell you that for an extrovert, that is challenging. I do that and I need that, but I don't need very much of it because my energy is replenished by being with people. Believe it or not, even virtually like this, my energy, having the conversations with you, even if it's not verbally, but through text, fills me up and replenishes my energy. And that is something that I grappled with and struggled with and felt so challenged by when I attempted to retire the other times, because I did so right at the phase of empty nest, right when my daughter left. So there was no one home for me to interact with. I no longer had work as a way of interacting. My husband traveled, my girls were gone, my dog passed, and it was just me, myself, and I. And for some, especially introverts, that sounds like euphoria. For me, it was a living hell. And so I'm curious, because of that comment, it almost lends me to believe and think. And so please weigh in and let me know. Do you feel that it's easier for introverts versus extroverts to do retirement when they're retiring from something, because what they're retiring to is more time with themselves, more time by themselves? But as an extrovert, retiring to that is not comfortable nor desired. Something to definitely ponder. Yeah, I love my alone time. Right. And we all need it, but introverts thrive off of it. And for me, that I do need to replenish my energy sometimes and have some quiet alone time. I just need very little compared to most introverts. I do feel like I have, on a scale, right? I don't know which way is which. Let's say introverted is this way and extroverted is that way. I would say I used to be like the needle was like past extroverted. As I've gotten older, my needle has come up a little bit. So instead of being pinged like extreme extrovert, I'm a little bit more like this, where I'm extroverted, but I do need some time by myself. And I felt that yesterday. Yeah, and I ended up taking some alone time and going upstairs on the rooftop and just absorbing the sun and having some quiet time for a little bit. So I do understand that. And one of the things that I also am looking to start, for those of you who may be considering retirement, and just like with empty nest, I have friends that they're approaching empty nest, and it's a scary time. It's because there's a lot of meaning to empty nest, right? It's not just did I do a good enough job? Are they going to be able to survive on their own? It's also my focus for over 20 years has been on raising my children, and that has taken up a lot of bandwidth. What do I replace that with? It's also, I'm now getting, for some, I'm now getting older, and I'm now entering a different phase of life. And that phase went by way too fast. There's a lot of things happening during empty nest. And it took me the better part of a decade to be able to adjust and be comfortable with emptiness. I will tell you, it was a good solid 5 years. And maybe even a little longer than that. I grappled with that as well. I really did. And yes, that did suck. And now I'm working through a new phase of getting ready for retirement. And if you are, here's some of the things that I'm doing. Number one, I'm asking a lot of people what they do, because picking and choosing and learning some of the things, like that woman who visited her son and grandson every 8 weeks. Putting that into the plan, putting that into the budget, making sure that becomes a reality, at least in the beginning, to see if that's something that works. It's going to be important for me. It's going to be really important for me. And makes me breathe easier and accept that a little bit easier, knowing that the angst that I felt about that separation and being separated for so long doesn't have to be the reality. So learning what is giving me the angst, which was being separate from my kids for so long. If I'd go to Florida for 4 months or 6 months or whatever, being so far away from them, that's what was giving me angst. Let's not make that reality. And then I'm like, well, what can I do? And I learned that I could do this. So what is giving you angst about retirement? Maybe it's the fact that you'll feel like you're being put out to pasture, that you won't have any worth. Maybe it's you don't have anything to fill your days. Maybe it's, what is that thing? Because if it's that you don't have anything to fill your days, I'm working on what 3 things am I going to explore as a hobby, a whatever, to take me down that path. And I have said before, you guys, that sometimes the goals that we set are not the ones to be achieved. They're just to set us in a direction. So I'll give you an example. Right now, I spend a few minutes every day learning Spanish. It would be great to be able to practice my Spanish and get better at it. But I don't want to sit in a classroom and have books and tests. That's not the way I want to learn my Spanish. And Duolingo makes it fun, but doesn't really make it, what's it called when you can, applicable or useful, because I'm not able to apply it, right? And so maybe I'm going to do an immersion. Maybe before I left Virginia, there was a woman who said there's a couple of people I've met recently that are learning Spanish that want to get together to practice. Maybe there's a group that I can join that practices Spanish with people who know how to speak it, so that they can make sure that we're doing it right, I don't know. Maybe I go to Spain and live with someone for a month until I learn Spanish. I don't know where that desire takes me. But making a list of some things that I'm going to head in that direction to see where I go with that gets me more excited about approaching that time in my life. And so if you are somebody who is concerned about what are you going to do to fill your days, baby steps. I'm all about the baby steps. Number one. Number two, let's start making a plan together. Let's examine what is causing us the uncomfortable, anxiety-ridden angst of retiring. What is it that we think it's going to be? And let's rewrite that story so that it's not. Because I'm not going to be put out to pasture. I'm not going to be irrelevant and invisible. I'm not going to sit and watch Jeopardy every night. Like, boring. I don't want that lifestyle. If you do, there is no judgment. If you are finally at a place that you get to watch Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or whatever, and that has been your dream, I'm happy for you. It's just not mine. And so let's I know what my dream is not, and I'm starting there, right? It's easier to know what I don't want, and then that will then help me to ask the questions and to set my reticular activator in my brain to search out the opportunities to find, determine, and explore things that I might. Not that I do, but that I might. And I might not. I might decide after a little bit that Spanish isn't the thing for me, or it was for a season or a reason, but not for a lifetime. And so on my birthday, I want to once again thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you for helping me to celebrate another year on this incredible planet. And did I miss something? Let's see. Oh, Cheryl, I would say the same for me. Have become more introverted as I get older. With Thomas, well, he's home. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. If you come back here, this one's for you, my friend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Linda, I think retirement is freedom to begin something new, maybe something that working prohibited you from doing. Yes. But for me, I don't know what that is yet. And I think that's what is giving me the angst and the stress and the pressure and the uncomfortableness of the unknown as to what is that. It's interesting. If you had a desire, like if I had a desire to, if I had a hobby of playing the guitar or playing a musical instrument, and I always desired to be in a band, or I desired to make music, I could do that. But I'm somebody that doesn't have one of those hobbies, one of those outlets. I don't play golf. I did play pickleball for a little bit. I don't know if I would be an avid pickleballer at this point. I do like to do it every once in a while. So I don't know yet what it is. And the things that I used to like to do, been there, done that, don't want to do that again. And so I am learning that there are things that I don't want to do. I just haven't learned the things I want to do. And by people sharing with me what they do, what their outlets are, will broaden my horizon. I went to visit my stepmom, and I walked through her She lives in the 55 and older community. And I saw, and it looked like Rummy Cube. And she goes, no, Amy, that's canasta. I was like, canasta? I thought that was an old person's game. And again, the things I told myself. I'm like, is it hard? Is that hard? The games that older people would play, bridge, pinochle, canasta, right? And I'd be like, but is it really for older people? And is it hard? Or is it just something fun to do? Something for me to explore, right? Having a group to do it with. And maybe that's not the game for me. Maybe canasta isn't it. And maybe bingo isn't it. But by exploring it, maybe the people that I meet will expose me to something else that I didn't know existed. That is my next thing. And just pursuing the next baby step is what I give myself permission to do. And with whatever challenge you have in life, whether it's empty nest and you're figuring out what your next chapter looks like, or you've just been laid off, or you're done with the 9 to 5 and you have no idea what you want to do for income, or, there's so many things, so many life transitions that we are either stuck or fed up with where we're at. We're not quite sure where we're going. I encourage and invite you not to give up. Keep exploring, keep asking, keep taking the baby steps. And I'll take you along the way as I do the same. And something that I need to remember on this birthday that I'm going to share with you is I need to remember that it's progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. May not love it right out of the gate, whatever it is. May not love retirement out of the gate. May be very bumpy for me. Maybe it'll be smooth sailing. It won't be perfect. But with each passing moment, it'll get a little bit better. Let's see. Linda. I told myself the same thing about canasta and mahjong. Yes, that's another game. And I haven't started playing either one. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest. We're not old enough to play that. How crazy is that? It's not going back to what I started with. It's not an age thing. It's not a number thing. But that's the story that we both have. Isn't that funny? Isn't that interesting? That we have that same story, that it's only old people that play those games. And so I'm becoming more aware of my stories, my ageism, and rewriting, redefining some of those stories. I invite you to do the same. I hope that you have the most friggin', fabulous, fun-filled, ferocious Friday! And I will see you on Monday, my friend. Make it a wonderful weekend. See ya.